Hello students, now let us go with the next experiment in which we are going to implement some of the sequential logic elements like RS flip-flop, JK flip-flop, T flip-flop and D flip-flop. As you know that these are called as memory elements. So they have an ability to store a single bit of data. So the first flip-flop that we are going to implement is called as RS flip-flop. As you know that RS stands for reset and set, and here in this flip-flop we have a Q and a Q bar output, but in a ladder logic we are going to use only a Q as an output. So here you can see the logic implementation of a RS flip-flop. Now let us implement this kind of logic in a TRiLOGI software. So once again we'll go to the edit IO table. Now here I'll change this to as input, and here I'll rename it to R input, and output will be named as Q. As we have a nomenclature in TRiLOGI, in similar ways we are going to implement over here. So if you look at the ladder logic once again, S and R are connected in series, and here's the out. So we have to make this line first, and after that we are going to join this Q line. Okay, so here one more thing to say that here you can see that S is normally open, R is normally closed, and this Q is nothing but a copy of this Q output. So let us try to implement this. So first of all, I'll take a normally open inputs, and I'll take S as input. After that, I'm going to connect the second input in series, but this is normally closed. So I'll click on this. So this will convert into a normal close, and here now I'm going to connect Q as output. Next thing that we have to do is, in a parallel with S, we have to copy this Q. So I'll take this parallel as input, and I'll take this Q. So the best part of the PLC ladder is that the output can be treated as an input, or input can be treated as an output. So here we can going to simulate this. Now here we are going to use a momentary pulse to set and reset the flip-flop. We are not going to latch it. So that is the difference between a latch and a logic. So here when I momentarily press the set switch, you can see that Q output becomes 1, whereas the pulse has gone. When I press momentarily the R, the flip-flop becomes reset. So that is the difference between set and reset flip-flop. So these kind of logics are used to start the motor and stop the motor. So you can imagine that there are two switch. By pressing one button you can start the button and it will remains in on state, whereas you press the second button, that is a reset button. When you press the reset button, the motor goes off. So you don't have to push the button for the long time. So it can be a momentarily. So once again I will show you. So you momentarily press the S by clicking on the left hand side. So Q becomes 1, and once you click on the R, the Q becomes a 0. So this is how you can implement the SR flip-flop in the ladder logic.